The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
Coming to you from the studio, and then this is stars on planet X. The transmission, transmission, try the best,
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a lift-go.
Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keane. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out, www.spreaker.com/user/Best Damn Podcast. Also check us out, thebestdampodcast.tv. Follow me, Instagram at Best Damn Podcast, Twitter at The Real Best Damn. And wherever you're watching from, please make sure to subscribe, follow, hit the like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and share. That's the best way to support us. The best way to help us out is by sharing the content, getting it out there. That way other people can see it. And if you'd like to donate and support to the channel, links are in the description. PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, Facebook Messenger. I know that the thumbnail did say something different, but I did change it. I am going to be joined here in a second by Andrew of the Boogieman channel. Let me just say what's up to a couple of you guys in the chat. Mandy, hashtag humanity isn't a virus. Gabrielle, Ariana, Eric, Ibu, Elliot, Lynn McGraw, Patty Statler, Claudette Malespina, thank you. And let me kill the music and bring Andrew in. So tonight I am joined by Andrew of the Boogieman channel. What's up, bro?
Good evening, everyone. Andrew here, aka Boogie. I was feeling quite blessed right now. Thank you for having us. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to hang out with you and the fam. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm really excited. I've been excited about us doing this show tonight.
Cool.
Just, all the stuff we're about to get into, it is fucking mind-blowing, man. I'm serious. This is right up my alley. It's right up your alley, and I hope everybody's kind of prepared. This is going to be some cool stuff. We're going to dig deep, and as always, I just want to tell everybody, no matter, what you hear, what you see, make sure that you use your own spiritual discernment, your own critical thinking. Don't hop to conclusions and judge the information. If it doesn't resonate with you, put it on the shelf and, come back to it a little bit later, because tonight's going to be pretty profound, man.
That's a good point, John. And I just want to get this out in the open right now. My feelings, my thoughts, my research is not a reflection of John, his research, his channel. So please make sure that you guys draw a very thick line between myself and John. We are very good friends, fellow researchers, and believers in Christ and all the good things. But a lot of times, when we're doing our research, sometimes it leads us down different roads. And my questions may be associated with, hey, does John think like that? No, John does not think like Andrew. I hope not. There can't be two of us in the world.
Nobody's that diabolical except one.
Taking over the world. I hope everyone's doing good, though. It's Thursday night, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's Thursday night.
I was shocked to find that out. I thought it was Monday. I've been living Monday for the last 3 weeks. We are going to visit a place called Ereboth. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the actual name. I wanted to show you and everyone else a place called Ereboth. It is also known as the Kingdom of Heaven. Now, a lot of people look at the Kingdom of Heaven metaphorically. And I think that is a big mistake. I think that you should be slapped and branded. There is nothing in the Bible that, to me personally, that feels metaphorical or, theoretical. And that was a mistake that I made early in life, as a young theologian, I made the mistake of thinking, oh man, when they talk about dragons, they're just talking dragons, probably just an afterthought or, a metaphor, simile. No, I am just about 2 months ago, I got 3 of the clearest images of dragons in my backyard that I've ever seen. Now, it's not something I tried to, possess, call up, nothing like that. I really it was probably just shadows, probably just some sticks or something on the ground that played some games with my eyes. I don't know, but I'll show you guys the pictures as soon as I dig them up. Little later, you guys can be the judge of all that. But
do you want to take the screen, Andrew? You want to take the screen over for any
right now? Yeah, sure. If you're ready to roll. Let me explain Araboth really quick though before we go and do all that. Okay, we are going to look at Araboth through a place called Aladdin Light. Aladdin Light is an observatory in France. And the great thing about this observatory, the one thing that I love about it the most is that they don't take orders from anyone, okay? And by anyone, I mean NASA. I mean the American president or just Americans in general. The only thing that they seem to take orders on are, I don't know, just requests on, hey, can I, can you teach me something? Can I be a part of your observatory? Can I offer you big loads of cash in return for, I don't know, information, help, security? They love money over there at this place. That's the one thing. But the one thing I love about them is that they actually take that money and return it back into their shots, into their research, into their data, and they share it with the rest of the world. As far as an observatory that is free of charge for everyone to use, I would say that for an online observatory, this is the best that I've ever seen. And then for a second here, you are going to see the quality of data that these guys are giving out for absolutely free. And for a while, I stopped using them. And the reason why I did that is because they were starting to get a little bad. I was like, man, the pictures aren't that great. And one thing you guys have to understand about observatories, these images are old, okay? It is not an easy task to take full-on pictures of the heavens above, turn them into plates. Plates are something that you use in order to enlarge stock footage, or not stock footage, just to enlarge footage that you've taken. So if you are going to enlarge something, right, what you do is you take a picture of it, you then build a plate out of it. From that plate, you would put it into a projector. You project it onto the wall where you would then take another image of it with a larger format film or digital device, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I said film only because with a lot of these things, they're still using film. And they use film because, well, it's beautiful. The gradients are very gradient. There's not a lot of digitization. There's not a lot of pixels that show. I mean, when was the last time you went and, well, you haven't really gotten your film, you haven't gotten your film processed for a while, I'm sure. I would say though, back in the day when we used to process film on, a pretty regular basis, you've never went to get your film and somehow pulled your pictures out and thought, wow, these look like digital anomalies, because it just doesn't really happen with film. But these images that we're going to look at, I don't know. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What we are looking at now is Araboth. We are looking at level 4. Now, I'm going to teach you how to find these levels and their numbers in a second. This area is called the levels of the man-made gods. Okay. Now, it's called this because in the Old Testament, you guys remember, Father God told us, put no God before me. Do not worship idols. You guys remember all this? Do not worship idols. Don't do it. That means rock stars. That means even your priest at church. Do not put him too high. Don't put him on a pedestal. You know why? He'll end up here. That's just one of the many things.
This is crazy, bro.
You guys do realize what we're looking at right now, correct? Would someone like to call that out so we all know that we're not lying to each other or ourselves, right? We are looking at a head. It's very clear in my opinion, but would you like to say what it is, John?
No. You go through this, bro. Seriously.
Okay. This is a goat's head, okay? Whoops. Sorry, my microphone gave out probably when I started to talk about Lucifer.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're looking at a goat's head, a giant goat's head. From this goat head, underneath his left eye, which would be on our right-hand side, we see the Horsehead Nebula, okay? Right now, just so everyone knows, we are in the Orion Nebula. So everyone is familiar with Orion, the constellation. It is depicted and remembered all the time with 3 stars. Those 3 stars are what makes up Orion's belt, okay? Now, the Orion Nebula, and there's only one way that I can describe this to you. It's not going to sound, it's just funny.
Hey, sorry. Is this the goat head right here?
Yep.
I see it now. Wow. Look, there's the eye. I just want to show, I got a bigger cursor than you, so.
Oh, good. Okay. So there's his ear on the right-hand side. Now, those glowing things on his forehead, those are actually, I guess they could be depicted as eyes if you want them to, but there's actually other eyes. They're dark and they're black and they're soulless. Okay. They don't have the whites. And actually this Horsehead Nebula, if it had to make up something, I would say that it makes up bottom lashes, maybe of his eyes. But as you cruise down here, there are a few different mouths that you can choose from. Okay. Depending on what magnification level you're at is dependent on, what body part or what entity you're going to see or what, even full on image or picture, right? Mm-hmm. And so right now we're looking at a top side mouth. We're looking at a nose. Now, this is not where a typical mouth and nose are on a goat, but Lucifer's not a typical goat. Okay. All right. And that's one thing we have to remember. Now, on the top of Lucifer's head, we're going to see some things that may or may not be familiar to you. But the first thing, and I'm going to start you off with this clue, this right here is the angel, the guardian angel that you'll find on the top of the Ark of the Covenant, okay? Because the Ark of the Covenant is right here to his left, okay? It is that chest. It's wide open, and we are seeing all sorts of magic coming out of it. One of those pieces of magic is, I want to say this, okay. Can you see my cursor here, John?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, I am outlining, I think, a lady I want to say that this is the Virgin Mary, okay? Uh-huh. But I'm not sure if it actually is or not because there is no face. There is no, there's no tags on these people, We kind of have to use our best guess. We have to use, let me fix my mouse pad here. It's kind of driving me nuts. Okay, there we go. Like I said, if you're zooming in, you're going to get a different picture than if you're zoomed out. It all depends on what kind of magnification you're at on these images, all right? And actually, I don't even know where did that lady go. Okay, here she is. So I don't know if that's the Virgin Mary or not. Just on first glance, that's what she kind of looks like to me. Now, to her left, we're seeing another big-headed sort of cartoon here. Now, if I had to guess who that person was, it looks like Peppermint Patty from Charlie Brown. Now, don't laugh too quickly because remember, this is the place of idols. All right, this is the place of undeserving love, I guess. No, that's not true. Not undeserving love, but it's of too much love. We'll say, okay. It's a place where we put people on pedestals, and we might have to not deflate them, but deflate our thoughts of them. Okay, because Father God was very clear. He said, look, man, don't put anyone before me and don't idolize. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we're guilty. Okay. Now, I want to point something out that's very obvious right now. Just above the guardian angels, we see a few letters here. I see a J. I see an S. I see a U. It's just sideways. I see another S over here and an E. What does that spell? I didn't even keep track. Jesus, that's right. Okay, so the name of Jesus is something that's been idolized. I'm not saying that Jesus is something that we've idolized, but his name and the crucifix, okay? Now, the crucifix is also something that you're going to find over here. Where is it? Okay, It's very faded out, but you can see a crucifix over here. You can also see a depiction of him on the crucifix. Here's another one over here. And then depending on, like I said, the magnification point where you're at, you can see, oh, and even moving up, here's an even bigger one. Okay. You can see the crucifix coming the whole way over here. And so this center point, this star, I guess, is supposed to represent Jesus Christ himself. Now here, down at the bottom of the crucifix, I don't know if this person is a part of the crucifix or if this is another entirely different entity. But in front of that person, I am clearly seeing a Yeti or some sort of abominable snowman. I am not going to get into Bigfoot. That is not what this conversation is about. Just please stick with me here. The conversation is about idols, all right? I'm not saying they're undeserving. I'm not saying if they are deserving. What I'm saying is anyone that the world has idolized, they will be here, okay? Planet X is here. I'm seeing the Mothman prophecies here. We just saw Bigfoot, Confucius, Buddha, the Prophet Muhammad is here. You just have to look. You really have to pay attention.
Hey, can I add something though?
Yeah, please.
Okay. What I think, and what did you call this? The fourth what?
I call it the fourth level or layer,
okay.
Whatever. I don't know which one it should be called. What's more?
This proper. Is something that really kind of grabbed me when he was talking to me about this. We were talking about it earlier, and obviously, you know, when you're looking at this, everybody's eyes are different, and you got to, just like with the image from Gary Parker, right, where you tilt it, right? You got to have the eye to see it, right?
Yeah.
But the fourth level, this is what's cool. When we look at us and how we're third dimensional beings, I say this all the time, that the 3D is a shadow of the fourth dimension. So we are actually up here as well. This is a fourth dimension would be where we actually exist in like an astral type of plane or in the heavens. So when he's showing all of these idols in the fourth level, and down here being that shadow of that, it makes total sense because our collective consciousness is what creates our reality. So yes, in this area, heaven, the kingdom of heaven is proof positive of that. And I always had the question, you know, when people say these entities are trying to control us and these powers that be want to control us, and I always had a problem with, well, what do they want from us, John? Like, what do they want from us? What makes humans so special? You know, why is it? Why are we so special? Why do they want to be in control of us? Well, being here in heaven and realizing that our wants and our needs can manifest reality, that's pretty cool, dude. That's a pretty powerful tool, okay? Yeah. All
you got to do is want something and you receive it. That that sounds like every kid's like biggest dream come true at Christmas time, right? So I mean, that's just one of them. Think about some other things, right? It's like, have you guys ever been so scared that you felt like an electrical surge go through your mouth, like almost like an electrical charge shock the back of your throat? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Or you'll get that taste of like pennies or blood or metal, you know, and it only happens when you're really scared or you're really nervous. Well, the reason why is because there's actually electricity shooting out of your mouth. There was an experiment one time where these scientists, they lined up people and they legitimately scared them. They shot really loud guns right beside their head, or they beat on the wall, or they really threatened to kill them. And these people got so scared that they had put these high frame rate cameras inside of, take pictures inside their mouth. When they got scared, an actual lightning bolt shot out of their throats. Wow. I did not know this, but it's a very normal thing that happens with humans.
Well, think about putting a penny in your mouth to like beat a breathalyzer, right? It's because of the copper and the conductivity within you, right? Like you're doing.
And it also validates the electric universe theory, or the positive and negative charges, and think about, you just talked about putting copper in your mouth, right? In order to make electricity, that's really all we need is some copper, and then we just need a little bit of salt water, maybe some lemon. Next thing you know, you're putting out at least 5 watts. It's not that different. It's really crazy at how we not only have everything we need inside of us to make electricity, we are entities that run on pure electricity and create it at the same time. We are some pretty amazing people, okay?
Absolutely.
Especially when we are in need. When we want to survive, when the humans want to survive, they're going to survive, okay? Have you ever seen superhuman strength take place? When someone's really nervous and really scared and they need to get themselves out of a sticky situation, and all they have to do is push, and they'll push. Oh, push they will, my friend. They will get out of that sticky situation. You will see people that are no bigger than any one of us, 5'10", 5'9", tops 5'11", and all of a sudden they turn into a middle linebacker playing for the Chicago Bears. And somehow they will push you out of the way. They will lift you up over their head just to get you out of the way. Okay, John, you said that you've been in a fight before, correct?
Yeah, once or twice.
Once or twice, probably, right? Okay. Well, when you're scared, when you think you're about to get hit in that pretty face of yours, somehow, some way, you could beat up anyone, you know? Go ahead.
I just think like we see that with humans, we do incredible things, and we have governors on our brain that kind of restrict us. But somehow or another, like when a mother's trying to rescue a child or fight or flight, right there, we can access different parts of ourselves that we normally can't. A mom will lift the car off a kid, or just like what you're talking about. These type of situations, they happen. All the time, all
the time. Yeah. Especially when a mother knows that her child is about to get hurt. Like, let's say he was playing underneath the car and that car is about to fall. The jack's going to break out. The car is going to fall on the kid. Then all of a sudden you see mom lifting up a semi truck with one hand while she's got the baby in the other. I've been surprised by less amazing things, And I don't know if you guys can see this. I've taken it into Photoshop. But all of my windows are kind of messed up right now. John and I didn't really prepare anything per se, but I am trying to introduce him, as well as all of you guys, to this place, Araboth. Araboth is something that is spoke about inside of the Book of Enoch. At least I know it was talked about inside of the Ethiopian version, okay? And what it talks about is what sort of things happen on every single solitary layer and who's in charge of it. Who does the work, and how long does it take? How long have they been there? Who trained them? I mean, I love the Book of Enoch. It tells us everything we want to know.
Wow.
And if it doesn't know it, it at least addresses it and hints towards it. Now, there are things that are in the Book of Enoch that have not been answered, but they've all been addressed, which is one thing I really love. I can't say the same thing about every other book, though. And that's okay, because there's a lot of things to address in this world, because it's a very big place and it's very active. Now, I am trying to lighten this for you so that you guys can see what I'm looking at. You can see the snout here of the golden calf. Oh, man, you guys probably can't even see my...
Your cursor is really small, man.
Yes, it is. And I'm about to enlarge it here in a second. So we are looking at the golden calf, the same one that we were all told not to... not to idolize, not to worship. Where's yellow? Why is the yellow not working? All right, come on. I know I just did this. So we were told not to idolize the golden calf. We were also told not to worship it, not to give it any offerings, no sinner offerings, no atonement offerings. You saw me just grab yellow, right? I did it twice now. And somehow this thing keeps coming out white. What is going on? All right, so this is number 3. Now it works. Great. So this is the snout. And then I just ran into the hand of the big calf, okay? Now we start to see. I don't
think we're seeing your screen now for some reason. Maybe you changed image.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? All right. Maybe come back.
Yes. There you go. Now I see your stuff again. All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. No worries.
Okay, now we are back to Photoshop.
Here we go. Yeah, this is better.
I am really sorry about that. So you guys have essentially been standing there watching me talk to myself and outline nothing. All right, well, I'll try to do better. I'm sorry. I'm out of practice, I think. All right, so I am outlining the face of a calf. Whether this is the golden calf or not is beyond me, but it is a golden calf.
That's
Okay?
cool as fuck, bro.
I
Seriously.
can't imagine how many golden calves there actually are in this world, but
What?
this is definitely one of them. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys can see his face or not, but
Yeah.
here is his eye, and it is for some reason star shaped. I'm not sure why. It has like a
What?
star around it. Oh, there's only one eye. I just realized that. Hold on, let me erase this a little bit. So I'm not very good at tracing and all that. But anyway, he as you can see, I don't know if you can actually see it or not, but he where's the eraser? Come on. But for some reason, he only has one eye. So I guess evidently he's a cyclops. Now, one eye is indicative to the waters below. Okay. Now, you're going to hear me call it the waters below a lot because it is my current research topic. And what I'm researching now is I'm trying to find as much information and as much footage as I possibly can about the waters below. Okay. Now, the waters below aren't just the waters, but it's actually the city, the towns, the boroughs, the businesses, the people, the entities, the crafts, the structures. Yes, we have found that there is life in the black of the nighttime sky. This black of the nighttime sky is parallel. It's a parallel universe with our own here on Earth. Okay. We have already confirmed that it has life in it, that they are friendly, that they live right outside of Earth, and that they want nothing more than to be associated with us. They want to talk to us. They want to learn from us. They want to teach us. Now, you've heard of the Elohim, correct?
Yes. Yes.
That's who they are. All right. This Elohim has been there since the very beginning. Some people have heard that they are God. Other people have read the translation and learned that they are a plural type entity. There's more than one.
Yes.
And that they are magistrates of the Almighty and not the Almighty itself, correct?
Yes, yes.
As far as I know.
That's what I teach on this channel. Is they are the supreme magistrates, the sons of God, and it is plural. So there's more than one of them.
Yes, there's a lot more than one. So we can watch a little video if you guys want to, just so you can better understand it.
Sure.
Or you can just use your imagination. Just imagine being in downtown Manhattan, right? It's nighttime. The lights of the city are lit. They're everywhere. We've got skyscrapers lit up from bottom to top, right? Every single solitary office is lit up just a little bit, all right? Just a little bit of glow coming out of that window, right? But we've got the street lights down onto the street, lit up, blazing. You can even hear the buzz coming from them. Your breath, every time you breathe out, you are seeing steam coming from it, right? And somehow that steam allows you to even magnify the street lights and the office lights just a little bit more. So this is what it looks like. It looks like a booming city that is closed down for the night, okay? And John, if I can get 5 minutes, I'll pull it up. You know what I'm saying? And we can watch it together. I think that's probably the best explanation. When you guys see this and you see the legitimacy of this area outside of Earth, it does something to you. It changes you. You realize, holy crap, this is the veil and it's slipped. It's done. There is no more veil. We've torn it down. We are now wiping our feet on it as we come and go from the waters below. Okay. But during this time, we start to realize this waters below, the dark waters, we call it. Some of us call it Skydome Atlantis, the waters below, dark waters, the black of the nighttime sky. It has quite a few names already. New Jerusalem, that was one of my favorites, because we believe that this really is the New Jerusalem that they all talked about. They talked about a city that would come from the heavens. Well, I don't know too many of those, but I do know one. And so it kind of wins by default. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But John, if you can take over for like 5 minutes, I'll get that video.
Sure.
I think you'll want to watch it.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to kind of point out, first off, it kind of looks like a devil too. Just saying.
Possibly.
Yeah. And the one single eye thing, it kind of makes me think of like our third eye, and how that's part of like the serpent part of us. So that's like seraphic. That would be something in seraph or serpent. Those are Aryans or of the air, the prince of the power of the air. So they're up high. They fly. So they would be in the sky. The waters above, the waters below. we'll get into it as we go through tonight. But when we're looking at the ones that are up in the air, right? One eye, maybe that's where we get the third eye. I believe it is. You look at the Kundalini and how it travels up from what's it called? Something sacred sanctum. Basically, the top of your ass, where you're. That's where
we call that the Hidden Valley.
Well,
that's where ranch comes from.
I talk about this a lot, like the vagus nerve, right? Like whenever they're doing initiations, the land of milk and honey, the milk only, the left-hand path comes from that sacred sanctum. That's where sodomy comes from, or Sodom. They go through the back door and it triggers a Kundalini awakening. And that's I'm serious, man.
I'm sorry. It's just, I love your wording for it. Like, hey, you keep your hand off my Kundalini, okay?
And the Kundalini it's a serpent. It's a serpent that lives inside of us, up our spine, right? And that's when Moses, he had the staff, right? The staff is us when we make the two become one. It represents kingship or power. Right, whenever we have the staff. Well, when he threw his down, the serpent devoured the staff, right? And that created the Ouroboros, and that's the double helix, the two serpents that go up the staff. One of them represents the one on the ground, which is Pan, or the Moloch, or the owl. It's a nighttime being, and it's the Lord, Lucifer, and he's on the ground. And then the other one represents more of a Saturn or a dragon, which means a fabulous kind of serpent, and that would be a seraphic fire being that flies through the air. So, these both, we have both within us. And if we look at, these entities, you was telling me off the air how all of them had one eye. Well, yeah. Think about it.
Well, I think I made a mistake here, though, because I'm finding his other eye. I think I just my eyes weren't adjusted yet. But everything else still applies.
Odin, bro. Think about Odin. Odin had one eye.
Did he really?
Yes,
was it
man.
Like lost in battle, or he was born like that?
He lost his eye doing something, and he was hung from a tree. But Odin is Lucifer, basically, or and you look at Saturn. That's where the all-seeing eye comes from. It's the south pole of Saturn. Right?
The hexagon, right? Or like
the hexagon is the north pole. The south pole is the all-seeing eye. So,
okay.
So Satan has one eye too, and Satan is Kronos, or Father Time. So you see the recurring theme of the, just one eye, and that's why you see in the Illuminati, they do that shit, right? They'll cover.
Yeah, they cover up their eye.
Yeah, people say that because my hair covers one of my eyes all the time, that I'm doing it intentionally.
Well, they said I'm a woman, or at least I was born a woman, so I'm sure it could be worse.
Bro.
Like, there's some strange people on this site, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, think about it. They're used to seeing that, though, now. Like, in the media, the president's wife, Obama's wife, I mean, I don't want to say too much, but we know that she was not...
I sent those pictures to my dad for the first time just last night. It's funny that you bring it up. And then I wrote him today. I said, I haven't heard from you since what I sent to you yesterday, and I feel like you owe me a thank you. You know what I mean? Like, what if you felt like you needed to go out and have a beer at the bar? And then what if you didn't have this information? And what if she just happened to be there? And then, one thing led to another. And well, that's how people get pregnant, Dad, and it ain't going to be her.
No.
Well, so you know what? So next time I see him, I'm going to get my thank you, because I feel like he owes it to me. Instead, he ignored me, like, just, it's whatever. You can't get what you need.
Well,
you only get what
that's the queen of Sodom, though. That was the queen of, that was like, the fall of Babylon and all of that. A lot of people believe that 13013, or B.O.B., he is Akhenaten, and that's you can see like the pictures of him.
He looks like him, yeah. He definitely looks like Akhenaten, man.
And then his wife was the queen of Sodom.
Let me ask you this, though. Like, there is a conversation that happens a lot, and it is about pharaohs only being able to be female. Is there any validity to that? Because a king would obviously be a man. A woman can't be a king. So why wouldn't there be something like like a pharaoh that could only be a woman?
I I don't know about them only being able to be female, but I do know Pharaoh is like the head of Babylon. And if you look at Babylon, well, here's where I think people would get that. Babylon
Here's
is
the
actually Lucifer, and Lucifer
Who
is
is? What?
Babylon is actually Lucifer.
Oh, okay.
So Lucifer in a lot of depictions is a woman. So he's a hermaphrodite. That's where Hermes and Aphrodite, right? Venus
cool.
and Mercury, hermaphrodite, right? Hermaphrodite.
We never think about that either. Like, how many times have you been in a conversation with someone and they pointed out the fact that he has both parts, right? And I'm talking about Lucifer. And they pointed out he's got both parts. Okay, we're all aware of that. Now, why do we all forget the fact that he can also play and trick people by playing the part of a female? You know, we forget all about that. And we always say, like, hey, I bet you Lucifer is this guy. I bet you Lucifer's that guy. But we always forget that Lucifer could be playing Lilith or Eve or this or that.
He is
We forget all about it.
He's Sophia, he's Lilith, he's Tiamat, he's all the females too. Yeah.
And we could have been so much further ahead in our research had we opened up our minds and allowed that truth to flow in and channeled it, you know, and realized that we were limiting ourselves because we just didn't open it up. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, they're sending up in space right now a satellite, some shit called Lucy, and nobody gets it. You know what I mean? It's Lucifer. That's what they're doing. You know,
Sure.
Everything that they do is in worship of him. You know,
Absolutely. And another thing that I noticed too is a lot of stuff NASA puts up, you know, that a lot of it has depictions of ancient gods and, you know, symbols and symbology that is not, it's not around today, you know, and you would have to have some special knowledge in order to know what you're looking at when you see these things. Well, people like John and I know these things because we do have that special knowledge. And so when I see it and I know that that's what they're doing, I'm thinking to myself, wow, okay, these guys they stopped hiding it. NASA has stopped hiding the fact that they worship an entity that is not who you think it is. I'm not going to say it's an incorrect entity because I don't know. You know, I don't have those final answers, but I am going to say it is not who you're probably praying to, and it is also probably not someone you're even aware of. You know what I'm saying? Like, because NASA has information you will never be able to get. Okay, you'll never be able to get it. They probably don't even read the same Bibles we do. You know what I'm saying? They probably have a Bible that it has notes. I'm sure it has notes from the original owner, and I'm sure the original owner of that book had a lot more knowledge than we'll ever have. You know what I'm saying?
They read Freemasonic Bibles probably.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, or even think of this like, oh, well, we got our Bibles straight from the Vatican. You know, it's like straight from the archives.
No doubt.
You know, I just know that for sure. Like, they have definitely got to have insider information that we would probably love to have, you know, but at the same time, what's it going to cost you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's sorcery. Yeah.
It may be, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I was looking at some pictures of the Vatican archive, not the Vatican archives, but the Vatican catacombs, right? Right away, you start to see paintings on the wall that depict cherubim, okay? But these cherubim are a little different. These cherubim got horns. These cherubim got the soulless black eyes. They don't have pupils, no more color in it. And they're being led around by another entity, one that looks a little healthier, but not too much. Okay. You know, and it's just like, but who are these things? What are these things? And why is it that I've never seen or heard of them? You know, and it's like, I want to be on that inside, but I don't want to be too far on the inside because I don't want to be sucked into that lifestyle. You know what I mean? But I want to understand it at least. You know, I want to have that knowledge. I would never deprive myself of any knowledge unless it's too dangerous. You know what I'm saying? If it's obviously dangerous, then okay, it's going to eat me alive because I'm going to want to know more about it, but probably safer that way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Kabbalion has this quote. It says that to the base, everything is base, and to the pure, everything is pure. So the knowledge is basically it's neutral, in a sense. I mean, if you're looking into dark black magic and shit, that's not neutral, right? That's dark. But it's saying like basically if a good person gets a hold of knowledge, then they don't pervert it, right? They don't use it for bad. They use it for a good understanding. And then if
That's
a
the way
bad person will take something and twist it every time.
Yeah. That's the way I felt about it. I'm like, I'm not a person that's okay. Hey, John, introduce me to this thing, right? So John, me and John got together this weekend and we sacrificed goats. What? It's like, oh well, no, but like it wasn't perverted or anything. It was just some sacrifices, right? And you're like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm reading Leviticus. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Leviticus. In Leviticus and Deuteronomy, there are very clear and very precise conversations of blood sacrifices, and they just changed the name to offerings. Okay, I don't care if it's called offering. I don't care if it's called sacrifice. They're the same thing. Okay, now here's my question to you, John. Who is that guy writing that book in the Old Testament?
Which book? Leviticus?
The Old Testament. No, I guess Leviticus, but like
the Old Testament.
Okay. I guess the whole Old Testament. I'm very confused about the Old Testament.
The Bible is by Baal. It's two Baals.
Okay.
And the Old Testament God would be your god of the air. That would be Saturn or Satan. He's a lot of people. He's depicted as a bull a lot of times. Right?
Oh,
and
the golden calf? Or,
yes, that's what they were doing. They were worshiping the son of Marduk. That's why it was a golden calf, is because he's a bull. Marduk is a bull, and he's also a star. So that's what they were doing.
So yeah. Marduk is obviously either Mars or he is the red planet, some sort of red planet, right?
He's both.
He's both. Okay, so
he's Mars and he's Jupiter.
Okay. Yes. Because one thing I realized the other day, right? There is actually, let me show it to you really quick. There's no reason to even.
He's also Ra too, the sun god Ra.
Well, you guys have heard of the Destroyer, right? You've heard of Wormwood, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, I found it. All right, so I'm about to show it to you here in a second. First up, here, look at these strange shapes that we pass as we come up.
I know.
Higher and higher.
They're wild.
And you're going to notice that the stars get denser and denser. And the reason why is because we're headed into the throne of the Most High right now, okay? And as you move higher, this curtain of the divine majesty gets thicker and thicker and harder to read, harder to look past, and harder to see who the true God truly is. All right, he hides behind this curtain. He is in many ways like like the Wizard of Oz, you know. Excuse me, but right here, this string of track system and tether line, they don't hide it, guys. These track systems and these tether lines, these are not shooting stars. They are not planes and lights that just traveled across the sky. No, you'll see, and I'll prove it to you here in a second if you really want me to, that you'll see that these things are screwed in and tied in. They are actual physical objects, and they are here on a daily basis, a yearly basis.
Is that a fucking spider right there?
Oh, yeah. There's strange things.
Right there. Look at that, guys. That is a fucking giant spider, bro.
Oh, it's all over the place. All of this, it's everywhere. This strange stuff.
Does anybody else fucking see that?
The one bad thing about this place, though, is the loading time. So it loads. It takes a second. So unfortunately, if you are recording, be very patient. Now, this is the red planet. What you're going to see here is a lot of people would call it Nibiru. Now, look at this. There is a big Yeti right here. You see his face? He's almost like a possum, too, I guess.
That's what it looks like.
A Yeti and a possum. But sometimes if you're staring at him, you'll see his eyes blink. I mean, it's trippy stuff.
He looks like a lizard, dude.
Yeah, there's that too. And remember, we are in heaven. We are dealing with spiritual entities. We're dealing with pure magic, okay? We're dealing with the love of your creator. We're dealing with the love of his son. So anything is possible here. I don't want you to limit yourself by what you think you know about the world around you or the universe and the way it's supposed to function because that's what you had in your head. No, just because you don't know something doesn't make it possible, doesn't make it impossible either.
Absolutely.
Okay? Just because you're not aware of something doesn't mean that it should act in a certain way because those are the rules you've set in place for your world. No, sir and ma'am, it's not the way it works. Okay?
That's why you gotta empty your cup, man. That way you can always learn new stuff.
Exactly. And you always have to keep your eyes and your ears open because you never know when there's going to be a John around or a Boogie around. There's always going to be someone there that wants to teach you something. They want to lift you up. They want to enlighten your spirit and illuminate everything you have in. Okay. And if you don't have it, if we see potential in someone, I always want to illuminate their soul, man. I want to see people shine brighter than they could ever.
It looks like a chair, bro, like a throne or something right there.
Right here?
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
This is a technology, right? We're looking at an open mouth.
It looks like a fucking chair, dude, don't it?
Oh, it definitely could be. But here's the throne. If you guys want to just skip to the front, here's the throne. Where'd it go? The throne's up here, masked between. Look at all these stars.
I've never seen this shit like this either. That's crazy.
Oh, and I'm really skipping to the end. I'm really ruining the surprise here. But we really should visit the waters. Let's visit the waters of life. We'll visit the holy what's that chalice called? I'm sorry.
You're talking about Holy Grail.
Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is here. Let's visit the Holy Grail. Let's visit all seven deadly sins. Okay. We'll see every single one of them. We'll see loathing what is it? Loathing, lust, whatever. I have the worst memory right now. It's been a very rough week. But anyway, this right here, what you're looking at, let me just make sure it is before I say it. Oh, here we go. This entire area is what you would call the throne of the Most High. Okay. This is the actual seat for which the Creator sits. Okay. Now, finding the Creator and actually finding him while he's decided to sit here is an entirely different story. But look how dense these stars are. In the one area, you need them to be clear and easy to look through. Now, we'll sit here for a second while they load.
Wow.
This is not how thick they were anywhere else on this map until right now. And it's only this thick because, well, we are standing right outside of the door of the Most High, okay? Now, as you sit here and you look at it, you try to make it all make sense. I mean, look at how many damn stars are in this place. Just take 1 inch of star and just see it, how dense that is. Now, look at all of these man-made stars here, these fake lies in the skies, okay? Now here, I would love to say that that's a natural star sitting beside it, but unfortunately, what we're looking at is a man-made lens in front of a man-made light. We are looking at a very, very holographic reality, or simulated reality, I should say, because it's not truly holographic if there's actual physical and metaphysical objects helping the simulation along, you know? But look, here we've got tether strings just hanging randomly throughout the space and time.
And let me just say, too, Enoch says, dude, that the moon and the sun come out of gates. So
yes, and I can show you those gates.
And the Bible, when it mentions the oceans, it calls it an artificial basin, and the sky is a firmament too. So I mean, think about that. None of that is like what you would consider natural, you know? Oh,
it's not natural. It isn't natural, but at the same time, let's not limit ourselves to what natural should be or could be, you know?
Absolutely.
Because I think that's where we would hurt ourselves immediately, you know?
Okay.
Like I want to think like that was where I lost a lot of friends at, is when I started to stumble upon these things, right? And I started to realize, hey man, something doesn't seem right about this stuff, John. Like it doesn't look natural, you know?
There's a swastika, bro.
There it is, right? You see? And so I didn't want to, I kept limiting myself. I kept telling people like, hey man, like this stuff doesn't look natural. And I would use that word natural a lot. And I would use other words that I started to realize later that was making people very angry, because it sounded like I was attacking their God. And there was a division between their God and my God. Right. But I didn't remember praying to anyone different than who they prayed to. I was just asking questions that they weren't asking. Right. And I wasn't demanding the answer, but I wasn't taking no for it. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're out there and you're looking at a tether line and it's hanging from the sky and it's not holding on to anything, not anything that's, well, supposed to be physical or anything that is, what's the word? Visual. I can't see what it's possibly holding on to. So what is this thing? Why is it here? How's it here? And like, same thing with this rock. How is this rock here? And it's got motion blur all around it. Now, would you believe me if I told you that this is Nibiru? And the reason why it's brown is because we are looking at a near infrared spectrum, but we're using a daytime illuminator. So anything red or pink turns brown. Okay.
Which is Nibiru? Which one?
This brown one right in front of us. Because it's not red, you think it's not Nibiru.
This one?
Right? Yeah, why not?
And dude, that makes sense. It is a throne then, because that's what the Dark Lord sits on, bro.
Yep, exactly. And so
the Lamb who sits upon the throne, behold, he's coming in the clouds, bro. I'm serious.
So the reason why this isn't red or pink is because, like I said, we're in the near infrared spectrum, but we're not using a near infrared filter in order to see it. We're just using active infrared with a daytime illuminator. So everything that's red or pink turns brown or tan. Okay. So right now, this object that's right in front of you and the objects to its left are most definitely pink or red. So would you believe me if I told you that these two objects alone are responsible for every red or pink sunset you've ever seen in your entire life?
Yes, I would.
Good, because it's the truth.
I believe that our sun, everything refracts or reflects off of our sun, and I believe the dark sun works the same way.
Well, I would say that you are dead on the money, buddy.
Ultraviolet and infrared, both ends of the spectrum.
Yep. And so that spectrum that you speak of is also the way that they make themselves hide or allow themselves to hide. All they do is take something. You've heard of LED, correct? That's light emitting diode. All right. Have you ever heard of a DED?
No. Dark
emitting diode. So instead of light, we would emit darkness. Okay. So when we emit darkness, we then cast a color that's outside of our visual spectrum onto something that we want to hide that's being emitted into the light, right? So I'm casting a light or a color outside of your visual spectrum so that anything that light is being casted on is now outside of your visual spectrum. So for 99 cents to go buy an incandescent bulb, I then take a gel or a filter that's outside of your visual spectrum, place it on that bulb, and all of a sudden I have a cloaking device that works for less than 99 cents. And so all you had to do was cast a light that's outside of someone's visual spectrum or a color, and all of a sudden they disappear right in front of your eyes. So this is how it works. Have you ever wondered why there's a black circle in the middle of the sun simulator? The reason why is because it's emitting a dark emitting diode. It is a big dark crystal inside of the middle of the sun simulator.
Wow.
And it is emitting a dark diode, a dark emitter, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why things that are close to it that you know are there, you can't see them, like the space lenses. All right. We know that on the outside, right by the sun simulator itself, there's roughly 1,000 space lenses, but you'll be lucky if you can find one of them in the daytime. Reason is because the dark emitting diode is doing what it does, and it's emitting darkness onto those objects. And at the same time, the outer ring, which is the light emitting diode of the sun simulator, is lighting its way, and the dark emitting diode is obfuscating and hiding. Okay. So right in one object, you have your binary twins. You don't have to look externally. Okay. So that sun is its brother. It is its father, its mother, its, its cousin, its neighbor. It is the binary twin, but there are many of them. Okay. So obviously you've heard of Nemesis. You've heard of Sol. You've heard of Joe. What are the other names of the suns? I know that there's a lot of moons as well. I remember when I was a kid, I remember NASA had announced that they had found the 5th moon. Okay. Now, I remember this because I used to have posters of it up in my room. We had all 5 moons. My brother and I, we used to collect all the moons of NASA, right? That's what we called it, the moons of NASA. Now, obviously, it wasn't their moons, but they were the ones who discovered it. And I know they were there because we had textbooks for them. Now, if you go on to, watch this one, you'll like it. Go to Google. If you're on Google, all you have to type in, can you do this for me, John?
Sure.
Can you type in, how many moons are there? It should tell you there's 2. Sometimes it tells you there's 3.
What, for Earth?
You know? Yeah. And you can do it yourself. It's just right on Google. Just put how many moons does Earth have?
Okay.
It's saying 1. That's not right.
I was about to say, it's probably going to say 1 moon, bro.
You know, that's really funny because just yesterday it said 2, and the day before that it said 3. And it does change a lot, I'll give it that. So whatever, you win today, dear Google. But what I'm getting at is when I was a kid, there were 5 moons. This would work a lot better if we at least got 2 moons out of the question. But when I was a kid, there was 5 moons. As I got older, there were less and less. So when I was in college, by the time I was in college, there was 3. And hell, just last week,
About a month or 2 ago, SO20 left orbit. There was 2 of them.
And do you remember? Actually, they are. What are they doing right now in China? They've already sent up their moon simulator, but now they're doing a project called the Illuminated Dragon or something, and they're putting up 3 artistic renditions of the moon. Okay, so some rich somebody is actually out there, and they are going to fund an art project. That's what they're calling it, an art project, where they put up 3 artistic renditions of moons in the nighttime sky. So just to put a person up into space, it costs $60 million. And that's just for the seat. Could you imagine how much it would be to put 3 artistic moons up into the nighttime sky? Like, is art really that important to you? I mean, I love art. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking trash about art. But, dude, you could find some cheaper art.
Well, you want to know what, though? When you were just showing this stuff, too, and the density, so I've talked about it a little bit, but the matrices and how, like, there's a matrix inside of a matrix. I believe all of the artificial suns, the chemtrailing, the mirroring system, all of it is to try to put us into a virtual reality inside of the one we're already in. So if they're doing that with moons, to me, it's more of that. It's trying to replace, and you were even showing, what are these wires connected to? I believe it's to the original creation. And when we look at the sun and that light pouring through that gives life to all of us, that's the actual creation. That's the heavens that we fell from or came from, is we can see it in the starlight, because that's the other side.
Do this, dude. I love when you put out your thoughts like that, blow our minds like it's nothing. You're like, okay, moving on to the next thing. The guy's got talent, man. It's like, and by talent, I don't even know the word. What I'm saying is you have got a real gift of when you speak, people want to listen. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really have a gift, and it is very much like a present, I guess. What's the word? It's a gift from God. You know what I'm saying? A gift from God to you so that you can then gift it back to us. It's pretty dang cool. Whoops, sorry. That's not what I was trying to do. I'm sure that I'm only about a second away from finding that video. Would you guys like to watch it for a few minutes? It's not long.
Sure.
And you're not going to get a copyright strike from it. It's nothing like that.
I don't care if I do, man.
Oh, okay. It's a really cool video, and it allows you to understand how many entities we're dealing with out there. Like, they're out there, man, and they are, they're everywhere. Hold on. Tell a story really quick, because
Tell a story, Dad.
Please, yeah.
I did see, though, when we were looking at that, the swastika, and that was, by the throne. The swastika, and if we get into it tonight, the whole tetragrammaton and the names of God,
You remember? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that name before, Tetragrammaton, or
Yeah.
is that something that we both picked up today, or what?
No, I knew it already.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What is it? I feel like it's like
it's the name of God.
Oh, okay. But what I mean is it like geometry, sacred geometry? Like it feels like if I were to look it up, it would be like a 60-sided die or something. You know what I mean? Like
It might have shapes to it, but the tetragrammaton is like the different names of God. It's a Yahud Ve or something like that in Hebrew, and then the Nazis, the SS, that's part of the tetragrammaton, and then the swastika,
Really?
yeah, and then
Oh wow.
the swastika SS, like their little foot soldiers, and then
Yeah.
the swastika is the four angles, which is north or news, north, east, west, south. It's the four angles or the four horsemen, and it's the four names of Yahweh, which is also the tetragrammaton, which would be Adonai, Ariel, Jehovah, Elohim, and then when you look at it in, I want to say Arabic, but it might be Aramaic, and it's and also it's when you look at Yahweh, it's hands nailed, feet nailed. That's what it means.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's awesome for our learning, but it's probably not awesome to be named that and actually have that happen to you.
Well, it speaks to Jesus, though.
Yeah, it sure does.
I think that Jesus is not Lucifer, in my opinion. I think that the one that everybody worships in church, that is Lucifer. But Jesus,
Hold
the
on,
Son of Man.
are we talking about Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus,
Okay.
because it's hands nailed, feet nailed. That's who they're speaking about. It's Jesus. He was crucified, right? Hands nailed, feet nailed.
I'm sorry. What I guess what I'm asking is, okay, so the hands nail, feet nail, that was Yahweh or Jesus?
Yeah, that's Yahweh. That's Yahweh.
Okay, it's Yahweh.
What's up, my good people?
Is that me?
Yeah, I think your video's playing. And then in
the 1080p
Hold on.
USB
How do
digital
I-
microscope.
yeah, and then in Aramaic or Arabic, it's AUAI, which is gold in the periodic table. AU, and then
Recording stopped.
I think I lost Andrew there. Maybe you got disconnected or something. But AI, which would be artificial intelligence. Let's see if it comes back here. Hopefully nothing happened here. And I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I actually had pulled up for that too. Metatron, here it is. Tetragrammaton. See, here's the symbols right here. Jehovah, right? Redirect here, blah, blah, blah. The tetragrammaton from the Greek is consisting of 4 letters. And this is what I'm talking about. The 4-letter Hebrew word. And this is the Yahud, Be, whatever, right? And from right to left is the way they read it. And it's also hands nailed, feet nailed. I'll show you the images I have for you too. Where's that? Boom. This one says a little bit different translation. Hand, behold, nail, behold. But it's actually nailed. So hands nailed, feet nailed, right? And that's a tetragrammaton. That's Paleo Hebrew, the meaning of the symbols. And then Yahud, Vahe, right? Yahweh. And there's the tetragrammaton, which reveals the name of the Elohim. And the Elohim are the 4 angles, or the 4 horsemen, right? Which is Ariel, Adonai, Jehovah, Elohim, I believe. So those are the 4 names. And then I've got the swastika one too right here. Let me see if I can make it to where you guys can actually see it good. Where'd you go, Andrew? Get your ass back, bro. But you'll see the SS, which I can't actually see what the fuck it says here. Let me see if I can read this, guys. Sieg, like Sieg Hell, right? So Sieg, the SS, there it is right there. That's where they got that from. The little white power lightning bolt shit. That's where they got it from. And notice the whole shit with that whole movement, right? White supremacist. It's called the Aryan Brotherhood, right? Aryan. That's Aries. That's of the air, prince of the power of the air from the east, right? And they're representing the seraph, or the seraphim, the fire beings. Where'd you go, bro? Let me see if I can get you back. Oh, hey, there's Global Witness in the house. Thank you, Global Witness. Or Derek. Why am I calling you Global Witness? Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. So, you guys can see right there. See? There's the 90 degrees. Andrew. I don't know what happened to Andrew, guys. So, I'm going to keep on pushing unless Andrew comes back here. Left me hanging, homie. Let me actually switch my view. All right. And when we look at the archangels, I was talking about this too. These represent the good to be seen. It's good to have you here, dude. I appreciate you. Wonder how it's possible for you to be able to hear me. Okay, yeah. No, you're cool, bro. He's coming back, guys. I'm just gonna. You're good, man. Don't worry about it. No worries. No worries. So, we're supposed to get into this. I hope maybe we will. The 7 days of the week, the 7 sons of Satan. Or you'll hear them as the 7 sisters. I mean, they got a bunch of names. It's always usually the same shit, just a different way of putting it. And you also see them in the Kabbalah tree, too. A lot of these names, Zadkiel and Raphael, all of these, right? Michael. And it's showing you the rank of them. Archangel, angel, planet, metal, color. And you guys will probably remember how I talk about each of them in a state of consciousness, in a level of consciousness, just like you, man. We're up in those stars. When he's showing the 4th level of heaven, you notice there was no fucking coincidence that where Nibiru was, or Nemesis was, there was a throne. What's the Bible say? The Lamb who sits on the throne, right? Behold, he's coming in the clouds, right? It's a big cloud and a fucking throne. Now, you can't make that up, right? But that would be the 4th dimension, and we are a shadow of the 4D. That's what the 3D is. We're a shadow of the 4D. So we're actually up there. We probably most likely are the stars, and that's the whole soul luminescence, the star in a jar, going through the prism, or the 7 rays, which are 7 rays of light, the rainbow, or the covenant, or the archons, or the planets, the watchers, going through the prism, creating the holographic projection, which is us. We're an electromagnetic hologram, is what we are. That's why the Bible in Genesis says we're a phantom projection illusion, because we actually are. And what we see in the sky, I think, is actually the bottomless pit. And I think that is, that's what space is. And I talk about this a lot. But he was showing and talking to me off the air, too. All of our different deities are up there. Buddha, Jesus, all of them. And that just kind of goes to show you that, we are imprinting not only above in a higher dimension, but down below. He also has the topography, like the Groxt one, that will show it in the street signs and all of that shit. Well, Andrew has it where these names are written out all across the fucking earth, too. So it's reflecting down. And remember, Samael created a reflection of the heavens above, right? So you can see it in the layers, too, of their conscious levels. See? The archangel, which is arch-angle, right? And Zaphakiel, Camiel, Raphael, Haniel, Michael, Gabriel, but I said Michael, and angel, Cassiel, Sakiel, Zamiel, Michael, Aniel, Raphael, Gabriel. Planet, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. metal, lead, tin, iron, gold, copper, mercury, silver, color. And this is the 7 rays: black, blue, red, yellow, green, purple or violet is what it actually is, and white, right? And Gabriel, I don't agree with what they have up here, but either way. They have Gabriel representing moon, or the moon day, right? Monday, moon, white, silver, and we know that the moon is actually Lucifer, though. And there he is, Luna, or Selene, or Lucifer, or the Lowered, or Lord, right? With his little bull fucking horns on his head, his Prometheus flame, and the bow, or the toxon, right? And he's sitting inside of a moon, or a planet, a sphere. I believe that everything that we see, every archangel, every angel, all of them are all manifestations of really 2 different beings, right? And they're the 2 serpents. One is Satan, and the other is Lucifer. That's what I believe. And I believe the reason Jesus Christ is so important is because he's a man. When we make him into Christ a deity, we make him into Lucifer, is what we make him into. But when he's that Son of Man that was crucified, hands nailed, feet nailed, then he's us, right? And it's all about the darkness trying to take our birthright, right? They're putting themselves upon the throne of God, okay? We are a piece of God. They're taking our spot. You see what I'm saying? Satan, he puts himself on the throne. Lucifer fell to the earth, right? He was an angel before. You see, they tell you this, even in Christianity, yet people don't see it play out in real time, real world, because they're so, they're suffering from cognitive dissonance so bad, so they can't put the 2 and 2 together. But Saturn, or Satan, would technically be God, like according to inside of creation. The Father, or source, in my opinion, and I'm no authority except the authority of Christ in me, which is the highest of all. I believe that the Father is outside of this creation, right? He's not chilling in here with us. And that's why when we look at the sun, we can see that light shooting through, and it gives life, because that's the other side. It even says in the Nag Hammadi, reality of the rulers. Is it at here? Right here. Samael sin. Samael, God of the blind. You see 0.0001% of the electromagnetic light spectrum. Andrew was talking about the dark light and all of that, and that's what creates space. And even look at the book of Enoch, it shows that the light was removed from them, right? And they were thrown under jagged rocks. To me, that shows that they're also like the mountains and the elements, but they could also be what we would call planets too, right? Jagged rocks or asteroids, something above. But remember, they're on every level just like we are. And you see here, because of the authority, their chief was blind. And because of his ignorance and arrogance, he said with power, I am God and there is none other but me. And when he said this, the speech rose up to incorruptibility, which would be the word. And rose up to incorruptibility would be like it going down to a density, right? Like a density. A lower density, corruptibility, right? Incorruptibility is spirit. It's a light. It became Lucifer, see? And then there was a voice that came forth from incorruptibility, which is light, saying, you are wrong, Samael. That is God of the blind. His thoughts became blind, and having expelled his power, so he shot the light out of him. He had both originally. So that kind of lets you know at one point that Satan had good and evil in him. You know, he actually did. And when you look at the giant cycles of our reality, It's him who returns to the throne every 20,000 years, too. Saturn, he's a Titan or an old one, right? Kronos, Father Time. So within the construct, he's the king of the mountain. And it says here, the blasphemy he had spoken, he pursued it down to chaos in the abyss. And that's where we are, right? Space is the abyss, right? And I've told you guys how when we see with our eyeballs, right, we are actually seeing everything upside down, right? So we're in an inverted reality. So we're seeing everything upside down. So what's above us is actually beneath us. So space would be the bottomless pit, right? And our eyes flip the image the right way up when it hits the back of our eyeballs. So that's allowing us to see it the right way. That's why Peter's crucified upside down in the Vatican. They understood all of these things. And he pursued the light down to chaos in the abyss. Think about the stars and how they're look like little nodes or piercings in the heavens, and they're peering down at us, right? That's the light being pursued down to chaos in the abyss, or the sun and how it's shining through, but down to us, right? His mother, which would be the feminine, Lucifer, Sophia, Lilith, Tiamat, all the same person. And the instigator of Pistis Sophia, she established each of his offspring in conformity with its power, after the pattern of the realms that are above. See? After the pattern of the realms that are above. So the spheres, the celestial spheres, these are the patterns of the realms that are above, right? It's infinite above. Eternal, just like the circle. That's why it's the four angles to make up the Holy One or the whole being, right? God. Okay? So that's why they make the planets like that, the sun like that, the stars like that. It's after the patterns of the heavens above. And the heavens above are shining down. That's looking down on us. That's the spirit, the light coming down. And this was us too. It tells you too. Conformity within its power, the pattern of the realms that are above, starting from the invisible world, the visible world was invented. As incorruptibility looked down, right, into the region of the waters, her image appeared. The phantom, the projection, appeared in the waters. And the authorities of the darkness became enamored. And the authorities would be the governors, it'd be the planets. But they could not lay hold of her image, which had appeared to them in the waters, because of their weakness. Since beings that merely have soul cannot lay hold of those that have spirit. For they were from below, while it was from above. So that shows you, you are... I feel like Andrew is not coming back, but I'll keep going. You are both, right? You are the above and the below. So just like, and what's really crazy is Ra, who would also be Satan, and he's a god of truth and light, right? Truth and Ma'at is the Egyptian word, which means, or light and Ma'at, which means truth and order. He says that good and evil comes out of him. Right? So he's like letting you know, like, yo, and that would also be Marduk, by the way, which would be the son of Enki, the son of light, right? He'd be Jesus, essentially, the son of God. Marduk would be another incarnation of the same thing, saying both of these came out of me, right? Like, I'm from the beginning. I made and his 7 sons were the planets, right, which created the orders of the days of the week, right? And all of the different, and he even says it, I'm this guy at noontime, right? And remember, at nighttime, he's Tum, or T-U-M, and that's where they get the word tomb, when they bury your ass, right? Because he was all of those beings, just like Samael is. Samael's the same thing. And notice, the light actually comes out of him, right? It's literally saying, He gave away his power. Right? He gave away his light. This was the creation of Satan right here that you're witnessing. So Satan was God at one point. God is Satan. Satan is God. Everything exists within God. So every one of us are God. Even the darkness is God. Right? And I know that some people, no, that's not the way it is. Well, I beg to differ. And that's why you see the Baphomet and all of that. They understand that, guys. They understand the light and the darkness and the duality and that everything. And think about it too. Even the Father above, right, who's outside of the creation, the reason he even allowed all of this to happen at all was to bring all things back into wholeness, which means they started there, right? They're just returning. So this is the involution of creation, his frequency. And that's why we can see, because we have that spirit, and a small piece of infinite is still infinite, right? So we have that creator in us, and it's Dr. Miramoto, right? The experiment where they literally speak positive and negative phrases to water, and water has memory, and you're 80% water. The heavens are water, below is water, oceans are water, right? The whole nine. And that's why it's so important for them to use frequency, which hopefully I get to do a private show this weekend, because I want to actually get into the frequency thing with you guys on the virus of the crown, right? There is different experiments too, and that what I believe is happening right now with all of that is actually just based on frequency as well. And the frequency is so powerful that it creates like a contact poison on our skin, and it's emitted through the spiked proteins, right, that are being transmitted. There was this experiment, the Russian scientists did it a few decades back or whatever. Actually, I think it was in the 60s or something, 50s, where they took these petri dishes and they stacked them on top of each other. One would have a virus in it and the other would not. And one would have a virus in it and the other would not. And they were sealed, and they would take frequency and beam it down into the petri dishes, and they transmit the virus into the next dish, even though they never were exposed to each other whatsoever. And you see, like what I showed you guys at the Future of Health Summit with Fauci and those dudes, where he was talking about, what if something comes out of China and we beam it down locally and even into their homes, right? They understand these things. And this is what I mean. This is how you know, too, that you're really close to all of this culminating. When you can start understanding stuff like this, and magic is no longer magic anymore, right? It's no longer magic anymore. You understand the inner workings of it and how everything is essentially frequency and vibration, light and sound, right? Magnetics. And we have, and this is what makes probably the greatest sorcerers of all time, is because they just had that understanding, right? They had that understanding. And you see this play out on massive levels of the population, where they feed you something through the news and the words carry a vibration or a frequency and you attach to it, and then we all collectively create it. Here we go. Bring Andrew back in here. Ding dong. You there, bro? I think he's getting his audio connected here. But yeah, so I mean, we manifest that, and we create that, and this is what you can heal yourself. That's what they was doing with acupuncture and shit. They were using frequency and aligning the body energetically to its peak point. And that's what sickness and disease is when you're out of alignment. You there, bro?
Yeah. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry. I just had a disaster.
It's all good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not getting into it, but I just walked into a plate glass door. Evidently, it was not open, and I'm evidently drunk without drinking.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Where were you
bro.
at? What are you talking about?
We was looking at the Tetragrammaton, and I was just talking about the seven sons of Satan and getting into the frequency and the different layers and showing how it's each son represents elements. That's why the emerald tablets of Thoth. He's emerald. He's green, right? Like that's his color. That's his mineral. So I mean, just some a tangent.
Who's green?
Lucifer.
Lucifer?
Or his son
okay.
would be his son, and that's life too. So then, if you look at it from the perception of okay, well, that would also be Jesus. Jesus says, "I am the truth, the way, and the life." Right. So green is the life. Thoth is thought, right, which is the way, and he's light and truth, right? He's knowledge. He's wisdom. So. That's what I'm trying to say. In religion, it's religion, right? They're recreating that legion of demons or that legion of entities, right? I am legion, right? That means they're everywhere. They're in everything. And you see the same characters play out over and over and over. Nimrod, Nebuchadnezzar, the Assyrian, all these different biblical people. And even I can show you in every single fucking book in the Bible where it's the same exact story over and over and over and over and over again.
There is a lot of the reoccurring story, different names, different years, different timelines, but always the same outcome. And that's always been strange to me. It's like they don't try to hide that. And I wonder why. Like why?
Because they don't think that you're capable, bro.
All right, I sent you a link right now. Okay. I'm not saying that it needs to be the main focus point, but play it in the background while you continue to talk. And just
weird.
Everyone who watches this, just keep looking into the black of the nighttime sky, and you will see what I mean. There are cities, whole cities. Mm-hmm. It's just like how I described it. It's going to be you are in a nighttime cityscape. You are in, let's say, Manhattan, something large, metropolitan, right? Mm-hmm. And what you're going to see too are entities that are very large and black. They have stars built within their body, and they have one eye. They are cyclops, if you will. They're cyclops entities. These are the entities they're within the waters below, is how they call it, okay? Now, which is strange, because if they're the waters below, then that must make us the waters above. And until recently, I never thought that could be possible, but I could also show you another clip that explains that it may be possible, I first found this clip because I was looking for proof of traveling beyond light speed and cloaking technologies, things of that nature, because I used to be into UFOs, Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I'm not really into UFOs anymore. I feel like the only UFOs that I ever really get into, or the ones that I ever really see, are the ones that seem to be responsible for the maintenance as well as the day-to-day operations of our construct and our simulation. Yeah. I feel like those UFOs that we see around here. John, can I take control over this one? Is that possible?
Sure. Yeah, I can switch it over to where you have the screen share instead of me.
Yeah, I want to sort of fast forward and rewind. I just want to show people what we're looking at.
All right, here. I'm going to stop the share on my side and let you take it now.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry about that. It's not a very long video, guys. I promise you I won't jam this down your throat. It's not too bad. And it's pretty dang interesting once you start knowing what you're looking for. All right, so let me hit play, right? That's all I got to do?
Hold on. I
got to share my screen. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen here. That's what's going on. That's where I'm striking out. All right, there we go. Okay. So there are some very interesting parts in this. All right. We are right there at one of those interesting parts, but unfortunately, I'm going to back it up. All right. Let's start from the gate.
What's your grade on Social Blade, bro?
What's that?
What's your grade on Social Blade?
Oh, I don't know. Is there a spot for like 9 millionth or something? I don't know. Oh, here it is, isn't it? It's 964,000.
It's a B minus. That's really good, bro.
Oh, that's what you're looking at. I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to know the actual number.
No, oh, the ranking. Oh no,
Yeah,
I just
no.
want to know the grade, man.
I care. I care about the people of YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. So remember, we're looking at the black in the nighttime sky. Do not be influenced by any red circles. Don't be influenced by any real entities until I start to point them out, I guess. Right. So the first thing we're going to see is down in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay. You are going to be seeing some stars, if you will. That's what we're going to call them. They're just little lights, right? So the little lights we're going to call stars, and those stars are stuck in place. You're going to see like a good group of like 3 of them. Can you guys see my cursor? John, can you see my cursor?
Yes, I can. It's
Okay,
a little
okay. Do you
small,
think
but
they
I
can?
can see it. I mean,
You think they can see it?
I don't know. I can kind of trail you if you want me to.
Okay, well, right here, right in between where these 2 entities are right now, that's where I want you to look, because right now we've got a good collection of like five crafts down here, and they are cruising through. See these gateways right here, which ones are right in front of these red circles. There is a gate of 1, 2, 3. 3's a big one. 3, and then 4. Okay. You can even see a street that comes over here, hooks around. I mean, these are all streets. You'll see it here in a second because you'll actually see them go down them. Okay. You'll even see that they'll sort of duck behind bigger buildings or structures. Or here's even, see this 3 dots right here? That's something landing on one of the big structures right here. So you're actually seeing one landing right now. Don't worry, there's going to be much closer shots than this. This is not about UFOs, guys. I'm sorry. This is about life just outside of Earth. I mean, literally just outside. So,
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think there's a possibility, though, that this could still be inside our firmament?
it is inside our firmament. Yeah, I don't want this to be confused. There is nothing else that we'll ever be able to
Okay.
what's the word? I don't think we can reach anything outside of that. Just us. I'm not saying it can't be reached. I'm saying you and I, humans can. I don't think we have the technological know-how to get there. And even if we did get there, I don't think we know what to do once we're there. You know what I mean?
So in this form, there's no. I agree with you. There's no going outside the firmament.
Yeah, and honestly, if God wanted us to be separate from these waters, the waters above from the waters below, I wonder what kind of other waters are out there that need to be separate as well.
Sure.
Because I am 100% positive, I would put money on this if I had any. Water does not come from clouds. Rain doesn't come from clouds. Okay, there's condensation that comes from it. There's precipitation. There is not heavy rainpour that comes from clouds.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see how it's possible. Like, so just for a second, just imagine this. So it's a hot, sunny summer day, okay?
Yes.
And we know that water evaporates and water rises up. We know that, okay? That's not an argument here. The argument here, though, is how much rain could possibly collect inside of a cloud in order to turn it dark gray and even black sometimes. And then how far could that cloud actually travel, and somehow it still defies gravity? So if you've ever lived in Florida, South Florida, then you know how hard it can actually rain in the world, okay? And so for it to rain that hard means that there must be hundreds of millions of gallons of water floating freely through a gravitational wave, right? So supposedly our Earth is run by gravity, but somehow rain and storm clouds are not affected by it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So here we are, we're standing there, and somehow in the background, there are rain clouds that are collecting as we speak, as we sleep, as we learn, as we love. as we spend time with our family, as we go to the movies, or as we eat lunch, or as we mow the lawn. It doesn't matter what you're doing. While you're doing it, rain is defying gravity, okay? Somehow it is not affected by it. It is almost like a lighter gas, even though it's not a lighter gas, it's a heavier liquid, okay? And so somehow this heavier liquid is not affected by gravity, and it can create these ginormous rain clouds that sooner or later finally get tipped. And once they get tipped, it starts to downpour. And when it downpours, it never empties. Somehow, clouds don't disperse. They don't evaporate when they are filled with rain. So I have a lot of problems with the science behind clouds. If they are as our science teachers have taught us they are, only. But I know them to not be like that. I know that there's no way a rain cloud can act as we've been taught. It can't defy gravity anytime it wants just because it can. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't push the envelope of physics. It can't say, hey, look, man, I'm a rain cloud and I've got some dumping to do. So, hey, screw gravity. I am going to collect 100 million gallons today. I'm going to float freely. I'm going to make everyone who's a believer in gravity angry. And somehow, man, I'm still going to dump where I want to dump. So you guys get ready because here I come, you know? And I just can't buy that. I cannot wrap my head around it. I personally cannot chew and swallow that load. It's hard for me, man. It's really hard for me.
Well, doesn't in the book of Enoch 2, doesn't it talk about basically like the winds come from one place and water comes from another place? And then I mentioned earlier too that the Bible, when it says oceans or seas, it literally, the translation is artificial basin.
Damn. So which part is it that's the artificial basin? Is it the
seas, the oceans?
Okay.
So they're like fucking, that's what they mean. Artificial basins of semen and piss.
Wow. Yep. Semen. That is what it is. Semen and piss. And
wow. What is that, bro? What are we watching?
Right now here on,
yeah.
Okay. So what we're looking at is a craft. All right. But I want you to, like I said, look in the black of the nighttime sky. This is where you're really going to start seeing objects coming out of this black of the nighttime sky, which I am under the impression is black goo, a solid mass of black goo or antimatter, right? We are looking at the firmament here, guys. This is the only depiction of the firmament you're ever going to see. So pay attention. This is very important. We are looking at the end of our observable universe. This is, by all intents and purposes, the snow globe that has always been theorized because it is real. It's here. It's electric, just like Enoch said it was. And it's also the walls of the city. I mean, look at these crafts. Here's an entity right here, walking straight down the street. Of course, he's just a dot, but watch this. He's walking around. All right, let me rewind that just for a second. Now, watch this guy. Now that you know what you're looking for, watch down there and just see the people walking around. They're just walking around. They're hanging out. They're doing their thing. Here's a guy right here. Watch him walk around. He's walking. He's chilling. And then he fell down. But these people are everywhere. They're walking around down here. They're driving their crafts.
You know what it reminds me of, bro?
What?
Okay,
Frogger?
on my private shows, I show like under the microscopes the one thing that they're poking everybody with. And,
yeah.
And underneath it, these the graphene and shit, it's doing exactly this, and they're coming together and attaching and moving across the ferrofluid. That's what it looks like.
Ferrofluid. I like that because you send electric through it and it becomes like a screw.
Yes, a spikes and shit. Yes, it does.
It's like so dope. Oh, it's so dope.
Wow.
This guy is going in and out of something like the back wall. Like, did you see how many times he dipped and ducked and he literally went behind something? Watch him. Here, let me put him in slow-mo really quick. There we go. All right. Now watch this guy as he comes into the screen. He is going to dip. He's going to duck. He's going to fly behind stuff. There's something going behind. All right, here we go. Oh, someone's walking right there. Did you see those footsteps? There they are. Look at them. Someone's taking a walk. Look at those footsteps.
What the fuck? That's
The
crazy.
footsteps. Yeah, I was trying to look. Those are footsteps. Ready? Sorry, it's just at the same pace as the actual picture itself. So he's basically taking 24 steps a second or whatever, the same timing. All right, now check this out. He's going to start going behind things. Watch this. So we are in a physical place. He is flying behind stuff.
Look at that.
Yep, he's dipping, he's dodging. Now, he's not in a war or a battle or anything. These guys are just, they're doing their day-to-day operations. But see, something just happened where he got out for a millisecond, and look at his ship started to turn into footprints, and he started to walk for a millisecond.
Wow.
This is really weird. Like, I couldn't tell you if we're looking at an actual physical ship or if we're looking at something metaphysical, because every once in a while, every few frames, he starts to turn into a spiritual entity, like where we can start to see his footprints, It's very strange, though. It's somewhere in the metaphysical realm. It has to. Somewhere in between the astral plane and Earth, because
he's mutable. He can change forms. He's transient.
I guess so. I never even noticed this before. This is new to me. At least that part. Now notice that they send either electrical or water down in the bottom in order to keep their float. Now these are the guys they're calling sperms, because every once in a while, when you see their form, they start to sort of grow a tail, and their tail makes them look like sperm. And I just realized this probably about 3 weeks ago, that I was like, dude, these are the sperms in the waters below. I had no idea. All these little single lights, right? These single lights with one leg or one tail, they look like sperm. They really do. And what they're swimming in looks like rusty water. So it looks like urine or piss. But of course, we're looking at it in infrared, so it's kind of harder to depict the entire thing. But in some of these images, they're weaving in and out of the black of the nighttime sky. In other ones, you'll actually see them hit the back wall, and it starts to take shape like gel or jello, okay? And it fits almost every description that Enoch ever gave it. Like, first, it looks like hammered gold, or hammered glass, I think they call it at first, hammered glass. And then it starts to take on the depiction of a crystalline structure. And then it takes on the depiction of even like they call it the hammered bracelet, which is a nickname they use for the asteroid belt. Okay. Yeah. And so I could see how they would even call this, like, did you see what happened?
Look how they're moving too. Like, not just this one. You can see them moving downward too, like as it's going past. That is fucking wild, man.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry. Damn. What happened? My hand hit the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Watch these other ones. They start dropping down as it goes past. Watch.
Yeah, and watch his body. Watch, like, directly underneath him. Watch dude, those are footprints. I never noticed this before.
That's what they look like. They look like footprints right there, like feet.
He's like taking steps. What is that?
That is so wild.
It almost looked like he threw himself onto the feet of one of those giants. Did you see that?
And I seen the white dot, and it looked like it was coming out as like footprints.
Yeah, watch. I'm gonna back up a little bit. He puts his footprints on someone's actual feet.
What?
And, hold on, watch. Let's fast forward. Get back to him.
See, look at that, dude.
All right, here he goes. Now watch. He turns into footprints, and then he basically throws himself onto the feet of one of these entities.
Huh? I don't see. I don't see that. I don't see.
No. Because I'm in the wrong spot. Hold on. Let me back up a little more. I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm watching this.
See, look at the other ones moving around it too, though.
Yeah, those are supposed to be stars. So let's just say
look at this motherfucker right here. Look, he's blinking and going down. There's one over here moving down.
Oh yeah, that's a whole body, isn't it?
Yes.
That was a dude, huh?
No, I don't know what it was. Dude. I don't know what it was. It looked like 2 or 3 stars, and they were going down as this thing went past.
Now I'm playing this in slow-mo, so if you want me to speed it up, we can. It gives us a little bit more extra time to talk about it and really look at it and study it. Okay, here's his footprints right here. He was just chilling there for a second too, and like
that is so wild.
See his feet? Now watch. Oh, okay, all right, that wasn't the one. So when he starts to walk back, I swear I saw him
But could that
Oh,
be
he just
the?
stepped on that dude.
Could that be frames though too from it being filmed where we're missing like in between frames,
Well, what
possibly?
do you mean?
Like where it's making it stutter and look like
Oh yeah,
footprints.
yeah, yeah. That's why. Yeah, it's stuttering because it's synchronous or it's synchronized with the actual frame rate.
Okay.
So they're probably shooting this at like 24 frames a second, and he's probably taking, I don't know, 24 steps a minute, you know, or
Yeah.
something. I'm not sure what the actual timing would be. I know it's not 24 steps a second, you know, but yeah, you see how he's sliding across. That's all right. Now watch. It's not that guy. Where was the guy? I swear I just seen him. I swear I saw him run into somebody, and it looked like his shoe prints went onto the actual person's feet. And where'd he go? He just disappeared. All right, I'm gonna put it back at regular speed. All right, now watch this. All right, here we go. Impress us, old man.
You can see.
See, he's throwing something down. You see like a dark mist or something is hitting the ground coming out of the bottom of this thing. I have
It looks like
crystal
he's
clear.
hitting water or something.
And he may be, guys. I want you to know that this may be just water. It really may be. And it would explain why it's called the waters below. Oh, wow. That was water. What is this whole thing flashing right there? Is something fun? That is water, John. I think you're right. And I've never realized it before.
It looks like a jet or something at the front of him a little bit. You can see it kind of like spray off or what the fuck ever it's doing. Like, look at the front of it. See? As it goes across.
Yeah.
And then look.
Oh, cool.
You can see other things coming
Watch
down
these
too.
things spin around underneath it. I want to know what that is so bad.
Look at that, dude. It's like a.
You see how it spun around underneath him? Oh, that's weird. So that's why I was saying this is a very interesting, video. All right, now this thing's coming in and out of the wall. Notice that.
What the fuck?
I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing it, but it's really cool and it's something you got to check out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I don't know what that is.
Cash register. We have, I've looked at this video a grip of times. It never makes more sense than it did the last time, but it's always very interesting.
It's like it's vibrating.
Oh yeah. But it always seems to give you more answers than it did the previous time before. It's just interesting. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just a cool piece of footage. I wish I could be the one to say that I'm the one that recorded it, but I am not. Okay.
Yeah.
But ever since it came into everyone's existence and reality, I have been hammering him to borrow it constantly. I'm like making copies of it the whole night, studying it, breaking it down. See all those guys just coming right out of the black of the sky. Look at that. They just go right back into it. It's almost like molten jelly. I mean, man, you could definitely, if you want to swath the land out here, man, it definitely been an interesting life.
That's so weird, man.
It is, and I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like their facial features are forming at the drop of a hat or as needed.
You know what it kind of reminds me of too, though.
Huh?
Like they're all points of like you know what like veins or something would look like we're seeing like points or something underneath. Like it's all connected though, and you can maybe I don't know. It's hard to tell. But, I mean, you're seeing this shit swimming through it, too. It's very, very strange. But look at it. Like, looks like there's a connection between these. See what I'm saying? Right there. They look like they're connected almost. And this thing's, like, swimming through it or something. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Very wild.
What is that? It almost looks like a hand.
Wow. Very crazy, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I still got it on. No, it is on normal. I thought it was on slow-mo. Damn, this is some slow piece of footage. Let's try to speed it up. All right, now it's playing twice the speed, and it's still going slow. Oh, he's shooting something out, and it's going right back into his chest. That was a little trippy. Is this David, whatever his name is? That
know
magician
who that
dude?
dude is. David Blaine? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's David Blaine, isn't it? All right, now watch this guy. He's shooting a ping pong ball out of his chest, and it's coming right back to him. Boink! Hey-o! No texting during class. Look at that. He's shooting it out. It's coming right back to him. Boink! All right, what's this guy doing? Oh, I think we're about to witness a really big accident, too, right now. A lot of death. No, it's not a lot of death. Oh, that guy's eating something. I think a kielbasa. Hey, do we have his number? What's this guy's number? You know him?
Right here looks like it's poking out, though. See what I mean?
Oh, it's poking out. I'm poking out right now. Okay.
But you see, like, how it's like, it looks like some of it's submerged and some's like coming out. And then you see this vibrating.
That's why I've always had a problem thinking this was water, because it seems thicker. It seems like almost like the viscosity of oil, you know, or even sludge.
Yeah, but that's fucking terrible if it's like that.
But to think, though, that this is what space could be made out of.
It reminds me of that movie, bro. What's her name? It's an alien movie, and she's like, she has her floor. She takes all these men in there. It's the girl who played the Black Widow. She takes the men in, and they walk down into the floor, and it's black goo, dude, and they just get stuck underneath the fucking floor. She like takes off her clothes and lures them, and they just walk right into it because they're in a trance. And she's like devouring them in the black goo, like eating their fucking souls or something.
I've always wanted to do that to Becky.
How fun would that be, right?
Devour her. Oh, mental note to self, Beck. I am going to sling you up into a web. Wait till later and suck your brains out. A damn vaccine. Makes me hungry for the weirdest things.
Well, that would just mean like whatever. Look, we're protected from this is what it would mean. And
it looks like,
it's invaded our space then. And we're in deep
How about it, right?
That's not a good thing.
No, what I'm saying is that what we're looking at could possibly be on the outside of a very clear firmament, you know? Sure. And what we're thinking that like, oh, it's in the same side. It might not be on the same side as the firmament we're on, but let's just hope, you know, say one extra little prayer.
Yeah, but then that would mean, though, if they're bringing in this mark, then that it's in here now, too.
Possibly. It definitely looks like it. Because I've always wondered what the mark of Cain even is. They definitely, they don't describe it. They don't, like we were talking about this earlier. This is why I think the mark of Cain might be what these entities from the water below are. Like he must be giant, black, and a cyclops. That's what I'm thinking. You know, because what else could Father God do to someone so that you could see them from miles around? I mean, that's a very weird thing to say, you know? Yeah. And then for you to think about someone who's been punished in such a way where people don't recognize them from miles around, you know, or they do, depending on what they're trying to do. You know, do you have them signed up with whatever?
That's so crazy. But that would mean, though, like, maybe the ones that are moving, and if we're a reflection of the shit above us, then essentially we've already been infected by the black goo, and we're just watching. Yeah, it's already over.
Yeah.
And maybe we're the little pieces of light moving around. The ones who didn't.
I could definitely see that one.
That's fucking weird, man. And you see it shining off of it. It looks like it's hitting off of water. Well, look, you got anything else you want to share? We've been going a couple hours here. We wrap it up if not.
Well, there's a guy in a bathtub floating around. Sorry, I dozed off for a second. I have been really working hard the last few days. My apologies.
It's all good.
I'm getting a little too comfy. You know what? I think I'm going to sign off.
All right, brother.
But I owe you guys a presentation, man. This is Andrew unprepared for the night and extremely tired. And then And when I got kicked off, I told you, I went to go step outside to smoke, and the door was closed. I ran right into it. Face first and everything.
Take your
No, look
ass
at
to
this little.
bed, bro. If you're
Well, hold on. Look
tired,
at this little.
man. It's
All right,
okay.
all right. Look at this little parasitic drone, though, over the top of the guy's head. Is that a holographic projector, or is that, I don't know, just like a parasitic drone? I don't know.
I have no idea. Dude, it looks like a
You think
guy
there's any
sitting in
realism?
it or something.
You what?
It looks like somebody, like a shadow is sitting in the fucking thing.
No, there is. There's a dude in there. You don't see him waving his arms and all that?
Yeah, that's weird as fuck. That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's like a
Is that
floating
real?
bathtub. What?
Is that
Yeah, it's
real?
real. Yeah. I filmed this. Well, this is another one. This is a cloaked entity in the trees here. We call this guy the predator. These are all ones that I've caught recently. Not too recently, but within the last like year or two.
What?
But the guy in the bathtub, we call him bathtub, man. It's pretty easy.
I've never seen nothing like that in my life, dude.
Oh, buddy, stick with me, kid. I say the ropes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I will see you guys some other day. I'm tired.
All right,
Peace.
brother. Hey, thank you for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me.
And everybody, make sure to go subscribe to Andrew's channel, Boogieman channel. I did put the link in the description. And here, let me switch over to the cameras here. Let me get over on my other screen. One second. Boom. There I am. Okay. Now, let me pull up the chat here so I can see what you guys are saying. What about that, man? You guys ever seen anything like that? I think that was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Some of you guys' thoughts on that? Shooting quarters out of the cash register. Broken 70C says, oh, come on, man. Don't do that stuff, dude. Not my fucking chat. Seriously. I really don't like that. Don't trash none of my buddies. Don't be a negative Nancy. Honestly, that's not cool. Go do that shit somewhere else. You know? It's rude as fuck, for real, is what it is. So, and they're not even in here to defend themselves. So, okay. Yeah, it does look like they're shooting out of a cash register or something, man. This is only your second time watching and listening, and I'm an amazing young man. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Yeah, this is a little bit different tonight. We had Boogieman channel, and everybody here, let me drop his link in the chat for you guys too. Him and his cool new fucking logo. Let me drop it in here for y'all. Make sure you go subscribe too, man. Andrew's a really good dude, and he does a lot of cool stuff. You know what I like about what he does too? And people can say what they want. They don't understand it usually, is why they trash it. They're not there yet they're not able to expand their mind enough to consider something outside of what you consider the realm of possibility. That's what it is. And that's why you won't learn either. Right? If you have that closed, boxed in mind, because your God's a cube God, you're in that box, you know, then you're never ever going to be able to pick up on something that is, you know, outside of what we consider possible. And that's the definition of fucking cognitive dissonance, right? You got that disconnect, you know, you can see it, you can watch it, a million things can happen to bear it out and prove it to you. But if you aren't able to let go of your preconceived notions and what you perceive to be reality, then you'll never grasp it, you know? And I'm always about being open-minded, and I open myself up to all possibilities, no matter what it is in my life, right? I never staple myself down to nothing or nobody for no reason, no how, because I want to allow myself to be fluid. in every aspect of my world. Most especially my thoughts, and the way that I perceive things. And I think that that's how we grow. That's how we expand. That's how we become more, is by allowing ourselves. What was it fucking Bruce Lee said? Be like water. Once again, these are people that were trained in the mysteries, and this is why they call people the profane, or goyim, right? Which means a golem, which just means a piece of clay, an inanimate piece of clay, a soulless piece of clay, or a cattle that is to be used for the will of those with a soul, right? That's why they call people that, or profane, because they, it's casting your pearls before swine, is what it actually is, right? They'll profane the mysteries, the truth, right? They'll yuck it all up because they're not, they're probably an NPC or some shit like that, who knows, but I see it all the time. I can't tell you how many nasty comments and stuff I've gotten recently, and it's like nobody can wear the mask anymore, guys. We can't wear the mask anymore. I can't hide from you and you can't hide from me anymore. And I wouldn't want to, right? I wouldn't want to. And now those that was never really of the light, they were just playing along and pretending, and those that were never really part of the awakening, it's showing now, right? The ugly's coming out. They're never gonna, they've stapled themselves down to this reality, and they refuse to let it go. Even if you get this far along, and that's what amazes me too, how you can get so far along into this and decide, okay, at the very end, now I'm gonna cling to shit, right? I'm gonna cling to this world now, when it's all finished, when you're about to graduate. Now you want to go back to 7th grade? I don't understand it. I don't see what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? I watch videos all the time, and I know people think I'm probably hard on Christianity, but I was watching a video today, and he was saying, we need a savior. We can't do this on our own. Speak for yourself. You need one. Not me. Not some of us. Right? That spirit in us is bad ass. And that's what the Christ is. It's an anointing of the Holy Spirit. Right? And if you had all the answers, then why do you believe bullshit? And, we're uncovering the truth. If yours was correct, wouldn't you have the truth? Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you see it? Why are you so blind? Because you are just like the rest of the world, right? We need a government to tell us how to behave. We're adults, but we need the government to tell us how to act, how to behave, right? We need policemen to come beat our ass if we step out of line. Yeah, right? Oh no, we need a religion to tell us how to pray, how to connect to God, who God is. Let them tell us. Do you see the dependency, the codependency that's created through the system? And that's what they're trying to do, is jack you in eternally. This is the only way to get to God. Well, why are you going outside of yourself to something else, someone else, when it's right inside of you the whole time? And I think the answer to that question is because to get to God inside of us, we have to face us first. And that's where people come up short. That's what they don't want to do. And a lot of times when we see that happen with people, they'll mirror it on everyone else around them. That's when they'll attack the person speaking the truth. That's when they'll attack their wife, their girlfriend, their husband. It's your fault. It's his fault. It's their fault. It's the system's fault. It's this, it's that. But it's never me. Never you. Right? But if you don't stare that shadow in the face and conquer that darkness that's inside of all of us. We all have it. If you don't face that, you will never, ever meet God. Right? And what is it, Corinthians 13:12? Talking about staring through the glass darkly or dimly. It's telling you. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. It's telling you. Right now we see the reflection in a mirror. It's us. We're looking at ourselves. But if we can look through that, if we can get past that, if we can face us, the image, then we shall see face to face. There's no more shadow in between. Now I know in part because you're divided. And then I shall know fully when you make the two become one in your whole, even as I am fully known. Because there is no separation in God. So you're known entirely by God. It's only you that have the illusion of separation, and only you that see through the glass dimly or darkly, right? Because you can't see past yourself. You can't see past yourself. We all want to pretend like we have the answers. We all want to pretend like, we're better than other people, and there's just no room for it now, guys. No more room for that. The negative stuff, the trashing people, like that's low vibration shit. It's low frequency shit. Like I just don't even, I don't know what even gasses somebody up to want to be that way outside of what I just said. But it's like I don't even want that in my aura anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't even want it around me. If you're not on the same frequency as me, then I'll see you when you get there. And I'm willing to meet you where you are. I'm willing to pull you up if you need pulled up. But you gotta reach. You gotta reach. Because I had a bad habit of this, and I think a lot of us have, where we will lower ourselves to try to bring others up with us. And all we end up doing is just lowering our fucking selves. Because once we get down there, those people are going to tug us down even lower. Each one of us, to get to the truth, we had to walk, our own path, flat out. Right? We did. We had to seek on our own, find on our own, understand on our own, and see that it was all us anyways, and that the truth was there the whole time. I want nothing more than to wake the whole world up. Trust me, it's everything to me. It's everything to me. Like I want to share what I know with people, and I want to help people. I want to bring people up. But at the same time, I've had a bad habit in my life of bringing myself down, trying to bring those people up. Sometimes we just got to walk our walk. And those that aren't on that same path, they'll fall off to the wayside. And that's why as we go, further along, the path gets more and more narrow. There's going to be less and less of us. Less and less. But it's meant to happen that way. You wouldn't be special. You wouldn't be rare. You wouldn't be the elect or the remnant if everybody was like that. Right? Many are called, few are chosen. Right? Few. Not a lot. Not everyone. Many are called. Everybody's got the calling inside of them, but rarely anyone ever answers. So, I hope whenever you watch my content, anybody's content, or you do your studying on your own, whatever it is that you're doing that's that's good food for your soul. You know, I hope you decide to answer the call, because I promise you this. Time is almost up. Time is almost up. Remember, you can't hide from yourself, and you can't hide from the Creator. He knows your heart. So you can talk all the holy shit you want. You can be sneaky and be a backstabber. You can do whatever terrible things in your life you want, and then pretend to be good and holy and pious like the religious do. But God sees every bit of it. And you can't cheat to get there. This is one race there is no shortcut to. And I hate to tell you, you chose the hardest path. Right? The easy way is to have the middleman do it for you. The easy way is to not try at all. But the hard way is to do it yourself, to figure it out yourself, and to see it all the way through. And it's not just about what you know, right? It's what you do, or what you don't do. Straight up. Straight up. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Patty Statler, Carrie Bodine, yeah, ego, no doubt about it. Missed, Ice Cream Day, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all of you. Anti-Troll, Claudette Molespina, Diane Livermore, and thank you for sharing, Diane. I always see you sharing my stuff on Twitter. That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. Zero Infinity, awesome. Broken 76, oh you didn't, the red sweater, Anonymous, okay, Anons, Lisa Binky, thank you guys. If you would, please hit the like for me, and leave a comment after the video's over. You know, share your thoughts. If you disagree, agree, put it down in there. Let me know what you think, man. I really want to hear it too. If you can, please just take a moment and share this link for me. You know, it takes nothing, guys. No effort whatsoever to hit a like and share. And it helps so much with the algorithms. It's not funny. It helps more people to see it. And remember, you had to see something first to trigger you. I don't know why we've got this, and I hate it. I mean, I absolutely fucking hate it. You know, this whole thing where people they believe they're awake, and they're aware, and then they become a selfish fuck. It's like, okay, you're still sleeping. You just know some shit. You know? Because if you was really aware, you would feel the connection to everyone else. And you wouldn't allow yourself not to play to that, to cater to that, to be a part of that. You wouldn't. You just couldn't. Right? You couldn't deny it. So you would try to share your knowledge, your information with others. You would try to lift others up. You would try to help others. You would try. You couldn't not try. You're compelled to do it. You're compelled by that spirit that's inside of you. You know. So let's stop acting like we're better than people. Let's stop judging people, and let's start being the people that we know we can be. Let's start doing that. Try something different. I promise you, you might even like it. You know what? There's like a reward in that. When you know that you're helping other people, there's a reward in that for yourself. You know, and that's our problem. Think about society. It's all people that only think about me, right? We got to do something different. Somebody's got to flip the scales. Somebody's got to do something other than what everyone else is doing. Somebody's got to lead. A world full of followers, man. Someone's got to lead. So I hope it will be you. Hope it will be you. Yeah, be like what? Or Bruce Lee. If you can, please consider donating and supporting. PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger. It just helps me out, helps me be able to do this, and stream and sites and all of that. And it's been tough, guys. Seriously, it's been tough. Honestly, I'm not lying to you. I've never seen it this bad, and I don't think it's a result of. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I mean, I still see some of the people that's always been around, and I see some people try, but damn, I don't know what's going on. It's like our world is so dark right now. People don't give a fuck about nobody right now. And it can be disheartening to see. It really can. It really can. I've never seen this. We are at a all-time low frequency in this moment. This is the lowest we've ever been. But on the other side of the spectrum, it's the highest we've ever been. It's the highest we've ever been. I think if we really do set an example, though, other people will follow, man. They're lost. They have no compass, no direction, and they're scared. They're scared. They need a rock. They need somebody that knows. They need someone they can trust. Someone to light the way. And that's what you could do for them. So, yes, please donate, support, hit the like, share, comment, and subscribe and follow. And go subscribe to Boogieman's channel too, if you can. And I'll probably see you guys in a few days or so. So, all right. I'm gonna try though. If I can, I will. I'll try to do a private show or something this weekend or whatever if I can. All right, guys. Remember, Jesus, the truth, way, and life. God bless you all. I love you, and I will see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful week. Peace.